What up world, Digidread on the mic, bringing you the Alphamon BT13 deck profile, because we about to rewind time. Because it's just, this boy is back in the game right now, and I'm all for it. I love Alphamon, and the fact that we got a new Doru Greymon line is chef's kiss. So if this is a video for you as I go through my ratios, deck profile, all that good stuff, then stick around and enjoy. And if you're new to the channel and you like what you see, make sure you subscribe and turn the notification bell, because I do videos on the reg. Let's really go and push that subscriber count, guys. Let's get to 1K. I'm back and I'm feeling good. So let's go into these ratios. As you can see, we go in with the standard 4 Dorimon. I mean, this one from the BT7 is just best in slot. Like, you don't need to do any more. Basically, you're going to be tucking, you're going to be getting an additional draw, which is crazy for this deck. The amount of draw that this deck actually has when you are popping off is unreal. So definitely best in slot, run the 4. No need to run anymore, because the main thing is with Alphamon is that when you're pushing out, you know big things be popping. It's just that the opponent be like, he's making his play. Let's get it. So that concludes for the eggs 4. Going on to the rookies, we got a sweet 12 up in here. Going in with a standard BT7 Dorumon. This, once again, you're going to be a searcher. You're going to be getting those pieces. Real top 3. Get a Digimon with X antibodies traits and also a Coda. We don't run Coda in this build, so that is absolutely fine. But the main thing is going to be that sexy inheritable, which is going to be gaining your memory. This obviously acts as us kind of reducing devolution costs, because we're going to be talking right there, and this is what this boy facilitates, just kind of reducing those costs and extending our plays. So we do run that as a 4. So Ryudamon, we are going to be knocking this boy to 2. Ryudamon is good, obviously able for us to reveal top 3, enable us to get a Digimon with X antibodies traits, and also our Yuji. Yuji is a key part in this deck, but the way I've crafted this deck, we are trying to maximize drawing all cards instead of kind of sacking off cards in the search being the main thing. And I'm not gonna lie, this inheritable sucks ass. I'm like, it's so bad. It's so decoy. I'm like, that never pops up. Never pops up in this deck. I don't know why it doesn't. But we never having multiple stacks. We just don't. Ideally, if you are throwing out a rookie out, you're most likely going to swing to get some early freaking chip game. It's all about that chip game. So this is the reason why that inheritable just sucks. It's so bad. But we do run that too. But we do run the BT9 Dorumon at 3. And this is the ultimate art, which is just, honestly, art is knocking out the park. The reason why I like this is because we want to be lighting up our trash for our big plays. On top of that, it means that we can draw 2 when we do sack off an X antibody in its traits, which is just great for us. So we're lining up trash, we're drawing 2, we're not getting rid of our options and so forth. It is an actually good, strong card. The fact that it's a nice 2K as well does come up quite nicely. You know, just getting that early chip game, as I said before, is going to be crucial for us to apply that pressure, and also for us to get our consistency pieces. So we do run that at 3, and then we go in with the 3 Sonorizamon. This is just a really versatile card, because if you are over 13 DP, you do gain piercing massive right here, just for that nice little bit of board control. Obviously got some suspend shenanigans, which is going to be great. But that inheritable, God, the chef is working overtime, because it means that if we are over 13 KDB, we get security attack +1. New Alphamon, easily achievable. Ideally, we want to be seeing this quite frequently, getting it in the raising and just build it, being the inheritable that you want in order for you to apply that pressure. So we do run that at 3. And that concludes for the rookies. Going on to your champions. So champions, we run a solid 10. So with no hybrids in this particular build, and you know what, completely optional for you to slide the hybrid, but for me, all about that consistency. I just want this running silky smooth. So we go in with the standard BT7 Doru Gurumon. So this is going to be good for us in order for us to obviously that inheritable, reaching that 13 threshold for Sunriza to obviously kick in and get that additional security tag. But it's going to be our blocker, which is just going to be handy. 5k, it is in sniping range, so obviously be cautious of that. But once again, it is going to be our blocker. Ideally, we want to be putting that in raising. And this is the reason why I have put in the new Darugamon at a solid 3, because one, that hard play cost, I mean, blocking for 4, I love it. It is a 5k, so obviously in snipe range, but the inheritable is still the same. So what you're going to learn with this deck is that the fact that you're going to be able to tuck in order for your Alphamon to be quite big is going to be very beneficial for you to swing over and also be a good blocker on top of that, which is handy. So we do run a 3-3 even split on that bad boy, and then we go in with the freaking drip. This boy, Dex Darugamon, is just, oh, so good. So good. Honestly, when you're about to pop off and you got this boy in hand, you are ready. You are ready. Because, as standard, Digivolve cost 0 if you either on top of a Darugamon, which is going to be absolutely beneficial for you. It means that, one, you can also line up your trash because you're able to trash 1 card with X antibody in the trait, and then you gain 1 memory. Perfect. And then if this was evolved on top of the Darugamon, then you're able to gain blocker and retaliation until the opponent's end of the opponent's end turn. There we go. Struggle with that one. Really, really strong. This right here with Cool Boy, shenanigans. Let's just say that. You're popping off. And the thing with this deck, it was never really essentially broken in a sense of what it did. The restriction made it just like unplayable. Now that we've actually got a new Doru Greymon target, it's back to full power, baby. It's looking hella sexy. So we do run that there at 4, concluding the champions. Going to the freaking ultimate, so we're gonna rock him with the boy that got himself on the restriction list because he was too OP. Let's just think about it right here. He's packing a lot. I think like Bandai were drunk when they were printing this bad boy. So with this, you may place 1 black card with access to 20 traits from your trash at the bottom, which is just nice. Once again, early game, we are kind of setting up our trash, obviously, with the cards that we do have. And then, basically, it can be DP reduced or deleted. So it's just there, just chilling. The band's just chilling out, just like, yo, what good? What good? The only thing how you could get rid of this mon is actually swing into him. But if you have obviously the Dex Darugamon, then it's got blocker retaliation. So you better have something that can protect your ass. Otherwise you're hitting the rash, and that's not where you want to be. But the good thing right here is going to be that inheritable, which grants you additional security tag. That heavy aggression that this card gave made the freaking OTK potential just through the roof. Honestly, BT9 Alphamon was a menace. It was a menace. So he got himself on the restricted list, and it is down to 1. But now that we do have the official new Doru Greymon, which is just nice, it really does help the deck. And its inheritable comes up pretty clutch in order for you to somewhat effectively have more memory than you actually have if you happen to have the Dorumon in the actual stack. So, when Digivolving, reveal top 3 cards of your deck. Place 1 card with X antibody its traits amongst them, and then as this Digimon's bottom distribution card. So, whatever you reveal, you're able to tuck that one. And then, what this enables is that this Digimon can't be DP reduced. Obviously, with Shine Greymon meta coming in, this is going to be helpful. And then, obviously, you're able to trash the rest. So, once again, you're setting up your trash, which is good. The only thing that sometimes is a little bit like awkward is when you reveal all your Alphamons off the freaking search and you're like, where's that rewind time? I like, boy, I want to just do a playback, take 2, and just reveal another freaking set of Digimon. Because nothing's worse than just kind of having to tuck one of your Alphamons that's not doing anything apart from giving him his DP reduction. But you get no inheritables from that, which isn't really the worth. And if you've not got a freaking Alphamon in hand, it can get a little bit awkward. But regardless, really solid. Though, the actual inheritable opens a lot of plays, and a lot of options that we do have are of 2 costs, which is actually pretty handy, because it means with end of turn, once per turn, you may place a Digimon card with X antibody in its traits from your hand as the bottom of the resolution card. So this means that whatever you've got set up ready, and this is why we are, with this particular build, we want to make sure that we've got our cards in hand, as well as obviously setting up trash, but we want full control of that. It means that we can be like, okay, right, I've got a plethora here because I've been sacking off a lot of cards, I've been laying down my search for this big turn. I can just tuck in whatever I need in order for me to get the maximum benefit of my actual effects. So this can really help out. When you are obviously on the top end, you can essentially utilize your options, but still keep turns. So you could play out a freaking, if you want to be aggressive, but you want to be able to reboot, play a freaking Breath of the Gods. End of turn, trigger this. Put something underneath that's going to grant you a memory. Boom, you're back on your turn again. Evo into your freaking Alphamon mode into the mix. Able to rewind time. It means that 1, you're going to be able to reboot with a freaking big blocking copy DP reduce, and then whatever other shenanigans that you may have, you can actually do that. And this interaction is pretty freaking sick. And if you've got 2 of them in the source, you're going to be going crazy with this. Honestly, fantastic card. And I probably spent a bit too long me gushing over this card, but it is good. It is actually good. The amount of stuff that you can do with it. Then, he's back out of retirement, my guy. He's coming out with deck Doru Greymon. This Mon, man, I'm telling you, when Alphamon was at its peak, shit, this card was putting in work. So, when did you evolve in? On top, if you either on top of a Doru Greymon, it does cost you 1. But because you're going to be trashing something, you're going to gain 1 memory. So, effectively, it doesn't do anything. It helps with your kind of trash placement, which is sick. But when did you evolving? When this Digimon evolves on top of a Doru Greymon in its distribution cards, you're able to delete one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon. So getting rid of a Floodgate, getting rid of a level 4 can be quite impactful, determined on the strats. It's pretty nice, and the fact that you can obviously get this back out now because we do have so many targets of Doru Greymon, it's going to be handy. The only thing is that it sucks balls when you have to go into this Digimon if you've not got Doru Greymon in its source. It's so bad. It's so bad. You're paying freaking so mid. So mid. But regardless, because we've got so many targets, yeah, this play should be pretty consistent. And then Cool Boy is going to be there releasing his shades and be like, yo, what good? Give you that memory and give you that awesome draw. So really, really strong card right there. That concludes for the ultimates. So let's go over to the megas. The megas hefty. Let's start off with the Ryumon. This card is not to be digivolved into. I mean, if you have to, fair play. You know, it is what it is. But ideally, you want to be talking this bad boy through because it's going to be unsuspending your Alphamon. And if you got the UG combo set up nicely, then this is going to be just you just swinging, bang, 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 rewinding time, going in with the Claymore and just going hard. That's what this boy does. But if you have to digivolve, it may happen. Is that you may place one card of X antibody in its trait. So any card, it's not specifically Digimon. So if you have X antibody in your hand, tuck it under, you're looking good. And then you are able to delete a Digimon with a play cost of 7 or less. So this is actually pretty beneficial when you are going up against the Mirage Galgamon freaking matchup. If they happen to go out with Matt Galgamon, this boy can go pick that off because, as I recall, Matt Galgamon is at, I think he's at 7. I want to say he's at 7. I might be BSing you, but I swear blind, I did look it up before, that he is at 7. So it would be good for obviously for you to pick that off nicely, which is going to be sick. Then your turn, once per turn, when one of your effects places a Digivolution card under this one, you're able to gain 2000 DP, and then you can't be deleted by your opponent's effects, which is actually going to be nice when you obviously go against that Alphamon matchup. This is going to be pretty sick for you. This is going to be nice, which is good. But Oyumon, ideally, tucking it under. If you got Yuji, even better. If you're going to be setting up trash, ready to go into your Alphamon plays, then that's going to be even more beneficial for you, because we do run the BT9 Alphamon at a solid 2. It was very tough for me to like sort out the ratios with this one. I do like this one. This one was so good. Digivolve is a good freaking effect. Nothing can really prevent you from being Digivolve. That's why it's so freaking strong. But I still think the new Alphamon is going to be stronger in this particular format. But we can't deny that Digivolving for free isn't powerful. If you've got the Tuck ready to go with your Dorumon, this is going to be for 2, which is just even better. It means that you can safely execute your Alphamon Oyukumo plays pretty sweet. But the thing here is that the Digivolve isn't essentially tied to like a when Digivolving effect. This is just once per turn. So anything that's going to tuck something underneath this Mon, it will Digivolve, which is actually pretty good for that nice little bit of control. But the thing is that protection, obviously, depending on how you've evoed, obviously you could survive 2 turns. But 9 times out of 10, the opponent might have an answer to it. He might just blatantly just swing into the bad boy. And then Alphamon looks like he's walking into the function like he's big things. He's going to be hitting the big trash, which is where we don't want him. But regardless, evoing for free is really strong, really solid. Digivolve, very handy for getting those with those big stacks, which is just going to be beneficial for you to safely clear out the opponent's board, because that's ideally what you want to be doing. So we do run that at a solid 2, but we do go in with the new freaking Alphamon with my boy. The art is just honestly, take the border off, blam, all art, that'd be done. No, I mean honestly, that's it for me. That is literally it for me, because it's just aesthetically a really pleasing card. I mean, the alt art looks sexy. I do own one, which I'm fucking very happy about. But new Alphamon, I'll stop gushing. Rewind time coming at you. 12k goodness, which is really good for obviously us hitting that Sunariza threshold and safely going in for face, which is great. Granted, 4 cost evo. That's the only thing that's but with good reason, the card is pretty cracked. So on play and when Digivolving. So the on play, even though people think like obviously you are gonna go for the main when Digivolving, if you are freaking desperate, you just hard slam this boy down, tuck someone underneath, and see if the opponent can obviously respond to that. Because effectively, you could somewhat take a source underneath and prevent you from being removed from the field, which is going to be good. But most times, it is the when Digivolving. So by placing one Digimon card with X antibody or Royal Knight from its traits in the trash, basically what it means is that your all being quite a blanket effect. When it says all, it's like anything. It's crazy that how all has such a powerful freaking meaning in this game. Is that all of your opponent's play costs 10 or higher Digimon can't attack the player till the end of their turn. So one thing I want to say here, can't attack the player. They can still attack Digimon, which could still trigger their when attacking effects. So use this with caution. Like Mirage Gargamon, if you go in with a swing and you've left yourself unsuspended, granted this effect is on, Mirage Gargamon can still swing into this Digimon, triggering its when attacking effects and all that shenanigans. So, word of caution, make sure you're unsuspended. Make sure you're looking $1 million strong. And they can't necessarily do anything. Good thing about this deck is the fact that we do have Congo. And you lay down Congo and you lay down this. Is a pretty short freaking window. Small window that they can actually do anything. And 9 times out of 10, there's not many cards that kind of sit in between 8 and 9 play cost. It's either 7 or then Evo into obviously above 10. It's usually like 11. So this Mon can absolutely wall out or delay any form of aggression, which is very powerful. We do obviously have ways to grant itself blocker. Obviously, we do have the Dex Darugamon, which is handy for that. We've got the retaliation there as well, which is sick. So, very powerful card. Then, all turns, when an effect would remove this Digimon from the battle area by returning one card with X antibody or raw nats in its traits, this Digimon cannot basically it'll prevent it from being moved from play. Sometimes I should just not read the freaking card text and just tell you what I know. So once again, beam bounce, not a problem. Take that off. Just take a Digimon from my source because they all pretty much got X antibody in. Laughing, and it's prevented. Granted, it is once per turn, so if they can basically bounce twice somehow, then my ass is gonna be bounced to my hand. But 9 out of 10, they probably can't, especially with this effect. Obviously, anything that's going to be bouncing over is not going to be doing that right there, because most of the times it is pretty much an attacking ability, which is going to be bouncing. And if I'm unsuspended, they potentially have not got a target that they can actually target, and they can't target me because I'm bulletproof with this boy on field. So that concludes there with that Alphamon. There it is. So, going on to the main boss monster, which is going to be your Alphamon. This card is still a menace, and this is probably your card of removal in regards to what it does. It's the only thing that actually just does a hard removal outside of the, obviously, the other Mega. But the thing that's really good with this is the freaking effect. As long as you have Alphamon and Ariumon, or Ryumon, God, it does not roll off the freaking tongue, I'm telling you. Then you're able to digivolve this for a play cost of 3, which is great, or Digivolution cost of 3. But if you don't, it's going to cost you 7. So make sure if you do have to make that play, as long as you've got enough sources to freaking remove, you're able to gain that memory back. But it is only 7 Digivolution cards that you can obviously remove, so you will be getting 7 back. Which 9 out of 10 you're going to be getting back turn, which is going to be sick. But the way Digivolving is delete all of your opponent's Digimon with the highest play cost. So if they happen to have, I don't know, a whole army of Digimon with the same play cost, you delete them all, which is good. One thing I do like is obviously with the BT9 Alphamon is the fact you can Digivolve, and then you can freaking go into this and you just pop, which is just nice. But this is obviously your main top end 16 KDP. I mean, this boy ain't playing around. He got his freaking battle mace. He's ready to clap some cheeks. So really strong card. Absolutely do run this all over 2 of. I did have it at 3. I do like it at 3 just because you do want to see this. But I feel like this boy's got it covered. He can do what he needs to do, and can obviously prevent that freaking you moving from play, which is nice. So that concludes for the overall Digimon. Let's go for those Tamers. Yuji, 3 of. Honestly, this card is crazy what it does, and it's probably the main facilitator of all the shenanigans. The fact that it obviously is a free cost is sick. Another thing is that if you bring your Digimon outside of your breeding area with X antibody in its traits, you're able to draw 1 and gain 1 memory. If you have this Yuji stacked up to the 9s, you're just drawing a ton of cards and you gain a ton of memory. And if you have Cool Boy set up, let's just say you're going to be popping off. That's the main thing here. But another key thing is also going to be when you're attacking, Yuji enables you to essentially tuck a X antibody Digimon underneath your source, which obviously if you do have the Aurayumon, freaking hell, sound like Ride My Avatar, sheesh, then it means that you're able to just facilitate that kind of OTK potential that the deck was pretty much a menace for back in BT9. It is a really good card. Obviously, you do have to watch out for Mirage Galgamon, because if you raise out, you gotta lock yourself out, because you have to draw a card. It's not a you may. You may not draw a card, but you can get tons of memory. God, I wish. Let me tell you, it would not be a freaking free cost card to play out if it was like that. But you may lock yourself out, but you know, we have the option of not actually playing Yuji if we don't want to have to play it. So we do have that flexibility, but at 9 times out of 10, you at least want to get 1 Yuji out just to facilitate those big plays. So we do run that at 3. Cool Boy, fucking cracked. Like, my god, get this boy. This boy is heavy. Just a main consistency card, giving you memory. It's nuts. I don't know how he's swerved the ban list. I really don't, but he freaking has. Such a good card. Obviously, you're able to reveal top 3, get a card with X antibody, and the X antibody option that we do run. So maximum freaking worth. And then if we evo into a card with the same level, then we're able to suspend this, draw 1, gain 1 memory. Nuts. Honestly, if you see the boy popping out of the raisin, you know it's pop off time. Like, you just know it's pop off time, and you can literally high roll to F with this card as long as you've got the cards at the same levels. You're cooking, and that's why you do run that at 4. It's broken for a reason. Why not play the broken card at maximum? So that concludes with the Tamers. Then let's go into the options. Options do play a freaking massive part in this deck. Freaking Breath of the Gods, freaking so good. So good. Grant you reboot, handy. There's obviously effects that are going to be gaining us block of retaliation. We want to be able to freaking reboot. We don't want to leave ourselves unsuspended, because ideally we want to be giving the opponent less options to swing into Digimon, because Alphamon only affects being attacked at me, in a sense, attacking the player. They can still attack Digimon. So if we are able to unsuspend, we're able to prevent that, able to prevent DP reduction, and also can't be bounced. We're laughing. We're actually at a freaking very strong position. Its security effect is also still nuts. Your opponent can't attack players for the turn. If Marge Galgamon pops into this whilst it's popping off, it can't do anything else. Like, first check, this would ruin the freaking day. Like, oh sheesh, what can I do now? Yeah, you can just sit down. That's what you can do. You can just sit down, take a breather. Yeah, have a Kit Kat. Like, that just stops all of that right there, which is just handy. Having that as a one-off comes freaking clutch. Like I say, our deck is more about kind of grabbing cards and kind of filtering. Just because at times you can feel like you don't have, because you're going to be tucking so many, you sometimes you're at a point where you're like, I can't, if they got rid of my big stack, it's hard to kind of come back. So that's the reason why we want to be just getting quite a few cards in hand so we can make a recovery. We can get that 6 stack rolling. So that's Breath. Then Congo, we do run this boy at 2. Strong. This can absolutely just wall out in combination with the freaking new Alphamon. If obviously we do have the new Doru Greymon in there. If we happen to be at 1 memory, we can obviously play this, gain the effect and so forth, use Doru Greymon's effect, hopefully have a freaking Doru, or just have Dorumon in stack, obviously took something else underneath, you gain 1 memory, and then you can just literally fortify your end play, which is just nuts. Absolutely nuts. The combination that you can do with the actual new line that we do have in BT13. So this just basically stops any rookie champion from attacking. Play cost of 7, can't attack players being the thing here, and also can't be added to security stack. So basically they can't recover. Like, anything that's going to try and recover or move you to a security stack, it doesn't work. Which, once again, don't really have that probably as frequent in this format. But we'll see how it shapes up. It might be that actually does happen, but we do run that there too. And then lastly, we do run the 1 X antibody, because we do have ways to essentially search our X antibody. I feel like just having the 1-off is just nice. It's similar to, I won't say similar to BLs, because BLs can actually, it's crazy how that can just get this card, because it does have obviously the Battle X, but this does have obviously searches like Cool Boy that can obviously just pick that up. So picking up the 1 would be nice, but this is just such a turbo card right here, because obviously all of our Digimon are X antibody. We do get the freaking swinging effect that we can obviously evo into a card with X antibody as traits, making it very powerful for that heavy aggression and really for us to just go freaking nuts. Even if it put off in security, we do then just gain 2 memory, which is just 2 memory. Well, that's Hammer Spar, baby. We gain 1 memory with this being put off in security. So really good card. We do run that there at 1. So that right there concludes the Alphamon deck profile. Hopefully I made this entertaining, fun, and useful. You can manipulate the ratios how you want, but this right here is just chef's kiss, consistency, how you want it, and that's how you want to roll. But if you enjoyed the video, guys, make sure you subscribe, like, all that fun stuff, and I'll catch you next one. Digidread off the mic.